Hello everyone, I am Shivam Pasari and welcome to ASIN Academy. Moving ahead in the lecture series of quadrilateral, our first quadrilateral that we have is a square. So square can be considered as one of the simplest quadrilateral, and the properties of square are also very simple. So without wasting any further time, let's begin with our topic. If you haven't watched the previous video on quadrilateral where I've discussed all the basic properties of a general quadrilateral, then I would recommend that you go back, watch that video first and come back to this video for a clearer understanding. So let's start with the basic properties of the square. The first and the most basic property of a square is that all the sides of a square are equal. If I name the vertices as A, B, C and D respectively, and if I denote the length of the side AB with variable A, then all the sides will have length as A. Since a square is a polygon, then we can calculate the sum of its angle by this formula of 2n minus 4 into 90 degrees. So upon putting n equal to 4, we will have the sum of angles equal to 360 degrees. The second property of a square is that all the angles of the square are equal. So if this angle is x, then all the remaining angles will also be x. And we know that the sum of angles of a square is equal to 360 degree. By this we can calculate the value of x by equating this equation of 4x is equal to 360 degree, and by this we will get the value of x as 90 degrees. So all the angles of a square are equal and each angle is equal to 90 degrees. The third property of a square is that the diagonals of a square are equal. So for this case too, if I take the vertices as A, B, C and D respectively, then according to the property of the square, I can say that AC will be equal to BD. So AC is equal to BD. The fourth property of the square is that the diagonals of a square bisect each other at 90 degrees. So if I name this intersection point as O, then I can say that AOB, BOC, COD and AOD all are equal to 90 degrees. The fifth property of the square is one of the most important properties, and it says that the diagonals of the square bisect the angles contained at the vertices. So if the complete angle is 90 degree, then each angle is equal to 45 degrees. The sixth property of a square is that the triangles formed by the diagonals of the square are congruent. So if I name this triangle as T1, this triangle as T2, this triangle as T3 and this triangle as T4, then I can say that T1 is congruent to T2, T2 is congruent to T3 and T3 is congruent to T4. So all the triangles are congruent to each other. If you don't know what are congruent triangles, then let me explain it to you briefly. If two triangles are considered to be congruent, then they are basically equal. The perimeter of a quadrilateral is equal to the sum of all its sides. Now we know that all the sides of the square are equal. So if I denote the length of this side as A, then the perimeter of a square will be equal to 4A. The area of a quadrilateral is equal to base into height. Since the base of a square is equal to A and height of the square is also equal to A, then the area of a square is equal to A square. There is one interesting and important fact to note, that among all the quadrilaterals, the square has the maximum area. So let's do a quick summary about all the properties of a square. All the sides of a square are equal. All the angles of a square are equal and each angle is equal to 90 degrees. The diagonals of a square bisect each other at 90 degrees, and both the diagonals of a square are equal. The four small triangles formed by the diagonals are also congruent. and the diagonals bisect the angles at the vertices, and each angle is equal to 45 degrees. And the perimeter of a square is 4a, and the area of a square is a square. That was all for this video, and I hope that you understood all the topics covered in this video. And if you have any doubt, then you can post your doubts down in the comment section, or you can send your doubts to us to our channel's official Instagram or Facebook page, and we will surely solve your doubt as soon as possible. Or you can go to the official website of ACN Academy and you can send your doubts to us from there, and all the links are provided down in the description. And if you did like the video, then please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel ACN Academy.